Hello and welcome to Rapacious Reads. I'm Rebecca. Today I'm doing the Clean Slate book tag because I was tagged by Laura Pora. This is the first time I've been tagged! Oh my gosh! Thank you, Laura, first of all. So number 1 is genres I want to read more or less of in 2018. Romance. I am always trying to read less romance. But whether I read 80 books a year, 50 books a year, or 20 books a year, I always end up reading about 1/3 romance. So the only way to read fewer romance novels is to read fewer books total, which is not going to happen. The genre I want to read more of is short stories. I really had a good experience reading The Yellow Wallpaper by Gilman. And I have a collection of short stories by Alice Munro that my friend Catherine gave me. So I have material for that. Number 2 is books I've read recently that have challenged my philosophy or beliefs. So I chose 2 books for this, and I wouldn't say necessarily that they challenged my beliefs, but they gave me a new perspective on thinking about things. So the first is Skin Like Mine by Gary Gottfriedson, and he's a man from the Secwepemc Nation in British Columbia. So this book is a bunch of poems, and they talk about Indigenous issues. So Indigenous interactions with the Canadian government, interactions with white people, and kind of a reaction to residential schools and the sort of cultural genocide that has occurred amongst Indigenous people in Canada. And the second book is Religion for Atheists by Alain de Botton. Now, I'm not an atheist, so I don't know if this book would actually appeal to atheists, but it's kind of about how religion imposes structure on society. And having that social structure and a community you can rely on provides a richer experience in life. It also talks a lot about education and how children should be brought up. And as I enter the stage of my life where I'm thinking about having kids, a physical community in real life is more and more important to me. Number 3 is who would I recommend a BookTube newbie watch? So I'm gonna go against the grain on this question, and I'm gonna say that BookTube is huge. There's no way you can watch every video. So I want you to forgive yourself and let a few videos go. You cannot watch everything, and please don't try. Go outside. Do I have a reading book bucket list? Of course. When I was 12, I went through all the lists that I could find. So 100 classics to read before you die, 50 books everyone should read, like multiple versions of these lists. And I came up with around 300 books that I thought were worthy for me to read. And I put them on cue cards and put the cue cards in index boxes. And so every time I finish a book off this list, the cue card gets a little sticker on it so that I know I've read it. Number 5 is what about BookTube has surprised me the most? And I guess that would be the emotional reaction I get to it. I am so gratified when people watch and comment on my videos, and I was surprised that I felt this way. Number 6, what are some of my goals for 2018? So this is what I would label a reactionary year. I'm graduating. I am necessitated to move. So it's going to be doing and reacting to life events rather than planning out what I want to do. But in terms of small goals, I would like to wash my face every day. That's my goal. 7, if I could meet, dead or alive, any author, who would they be? At first, I thought I would love to meet Jane Austen. But then I had this little flash of inspiration, and I decided I would like to meet Anne Frank. I think it would be a really emotional experience because I'm meeting this like little girl who I know is going to die, And it would be book-worthy. I could write a book about that. Number 8 is, would I rather have my life written by my favorite author or acted by my favorite actress? Okay, something I've learned in library school. If you want something preserved for a long time, put it on paper, preferably acid-free paper, because then it will last about 500 years. Digital media will last 60 years, unless it's transferred to a new format, which is what people rely on a lot of the time. However, if this movie about my life is a flop, then nobody is going to be transferring that media onto a new disc or a new drive. So it will expire in 60 years. Therefore, I would have my favorite author write about me, and it would probably be Jane Austen, and it would be romantic and satirical, and it would just be insightful and beautiful. And I would read that book once a year. Number 9, what are some challenges I have overcome or need to improve on for my channel? So back in Montreal, I have 2 roommates. So finding time to film when they're both out of the house is my goal. So we'll see. And then here in my family home is trying to find a quiet place to film because the wood stove is going all the time and it's got this dreadful humming sound. So I'm in my brother's childhood bedroom, my adult bedroom, I guess you would say, to get away from that noise. Number 10, advice to someone thinking about deleting their channel. I would say go the Jason Purcell route. Nobody can make books about, or videos about books all the time, unless you're Steve Donahue. And if it isn't meshing, or if you are passionate about something else, then make videos about that instead. Don't delete your channel. Just find something else, you know? Okay, and number 11 is who do I tag? So I'm going to tag Pages and Prose, Lukashist Books, and Between Lines in Life. Thanks so much.